All right, in this video, we're going to talk about setting up groups. So remember, as I said in the last video, groups are going to be kind of your bigger ideas, your bigger classes. However you decide to organize it, just keep that in mind. So down here, I see that I have 8 groups. Over on the right-hand side, I'm going to click the blue button that says Create a Group. I'm going to go ahead and give my group a name. As I work through creating my group, there are going to be some settings that we can either skip or we want to really make sure that we have in the correct format. So where it says join code, you really do not need students to use a join code. The easiest way to get your Flipgrid out to the kids will be to post it in Google Classroom. And then when they sign into Google Classroom and click on your Flipgrid link, it will automatically prompt them to sign in with their Google account and join your group. The next section is permissions. So we have ours set to private and we can decide how do we want to get this to our kids. We want them to possibly sign in with their email. You need to make sure right here that you have the @margsd.com domain added. If you do not add the @margsd.com domain, then students will not be able to sign in even with their Google account. This is a layer of privacy and security that ensures that only students with this school email can join your group. Nobody with a different domain can join it. So if they just have a gmail.com, they cannot join it. If they have an AOL.com. Also, just know if you have seniors this year, they are the last class that have the @margarettaschooldistrict.com email. So if you have seniors, make sure you have that one added as well. You can also, if you have Google Classrooms set up, you could click Google Classroom and you could click a class to import into your Flipgrid. So it's up to you how you want to do that, completely your choice. Under features, we have group followers. So we can say, do we want students to allow to receive email notifications when new topics are created and new videos are recorded? In general, I would leave this off so it doesn't bombard students with notifications. Our group status. So if you get to the point where you are completely done with this group, maybe at the end of the year, and you no longer want students having access to it, you can go ahead and click it as hidden. We're obviously going to leave it as active at this point. Personalizing your group. So you can kind of think of this group also as how you would personalize a Google Classroom. So this area is where you can select a header for the top of your Flipgrid group. You could choose an image from your computer, or you could come down here and you could pick one that is already created for you. There are different categories: nature, people, textures. And then choose Create Group. You should get a notification that your group is ready. So again, you want to put this into Google Classroom. You can either copy the link and then go over to Google Classroom and paste it in there for the students to access, or you can click the Google Classroom button right here. It will open up a connection to your Google Classroom and you can insert it directly here from Flipgrid. Now, it's completely up to you. I am more of a person who likes to copy the link, go to my Google Classroom, create my material, and paste it. Some people prefer that they just stay in Flipgrid or whatever program they're using, pop open the Google Classroom icon, decide which class it's going to go to, decide, am I making it an announcement, an assignment, is it a material? Okay. For the most part, if you're just sharing this with your students, you're just going to want to make it a material because you're just giving them the link to access it. You're not actually asking them to submit anything. So it really wouldn't be an assignment quite yet. And then just click go and it will go ahead and it will post it in that Google Classroom for you. You can walk through all the steps as you would normally would in Google Classroom. Give it a name. You can assign it to multiple classrooms if you choose to do so. You can assign it to individual students only if you choose to do so. Assign it a copy. You can still schedule it, save it as a draft, come back and work with it later. But you can see down here in the corner, here's that Flipgrid link to your group. And that's the best way for the students to access that. Your group is all ready. If you need to do any editing in your group, you can come up here to the right-hand corner and click the pencil to edit. You have your actions menu right here. You can add a co-pilot, which is a co-teacher. The co-teacher must have a account in Flipgrid to be added. You cannot add somebody who does not have an active Flipgrid account. Duplicate your group. Edit your group notifications. So if you want students to get notifications every time you add something new, you can turn that on there. Delete it. Share your group. And as you scroll down, you can see underneath, this is where your topics will populate. So we will talk about topics in the next video.